talk about fears. Let's talk about love. Yeah, I got fears, but I ain't got no love.
Now, let's get on with the show. This case is about two missing hunters from November 22nd, 1985 in the state of Michigan. These two individuals named David Tyrll and Brian Ognjan, and I hope I pronounced that right, and if I didn't, I apologize to the victim's family. They went missing right before Thanksgiving 1985, which people like me from, central Pennsylvania and all over that go deer hunting know that, that is the time that the first day of buck usually is, as after Thanksgiving. So they go, or planning to go, to, I believe it was David Tyrll's family cabin to go hunting. They left November 22nd, 1985, like I said, and they were going to meet up with a friend first and then go to the cabin in order to go hunting that weekend and be back Monday. They never came back. Not only did they disappear, but their Ford Bronco, which I believe was a 1980 black Ford Bronco, also disappeared. Now, when you have cases like this where not just one but two individuals disappear and their vehicle, I do not immediately go to foul play. A perfect example of this would be Carrie Mae Parker. Most of you know I worked on that case. I was hired by the family, and when I gave my assessment, I had stated that due to some of her driving habits, the time of night that she was last seen, and when I followed the route that she would have taken on St. Patrick's Day, when she was known also to imbibe in alcohol, I saw a lot of water, and I opined that although it could be foul play, I think you need to check a traffic accident in those areas. And I put that in my book, and that was 5-6 years ago. No, it was longer than that, I think, that I opined that last year Adventures with a Purpose found Carrie Mae's car and her remains exactly where, well, not exactly where, but along the route that I said that she could have taken to get home. Hence, no foul play, traffic accident, she went into the water. Now, why do I say that? Well, because not everything's foul play. You have two missing hunters who are in their 20s. Okay, they're not in their 60s or anything. I believe they are both 27 years old. And their vehicle goes missing as well. Now, how do you start a missing persons investigation like that? Well, the first thing you have to do is talk to their family and get victimology from them. Are they the type of people who would disappear? Okay, you don't want to bring up anything embarrassing, but sometimes you have to. Hey, is it possible these two are having a relationship and they run away? Now you sit there and laugh, but it's a question that has to be asked. You have to go down every avenue before you start jumping on the foul play train. Check their bank accounts. Any money missing? Did they withdraw a large sum of money before they left? That could indicate that they're planning to leave. Could indicate some other things as well. But once you check into victimology and you discover, well, okay, they're definitely not in a relationship. They are best friends. They've been best friends since childhood. They're going up there. They just disappeared. Well, I'd want to ascertain, in addition, did they party? Did they drink? Were they known to frequent bars? Were they drug users? During that process, you're going to come to find out that, yes, they did drink. Okay, they did frequent bars. When do married guys frequent bars the most? When they're away from their spouses. Okay? Hunters will tell you this. You go to camp. Woo! You get tore up. Okay? You're with the boys. That's what happens. Okay? Police start looking at some bars in the area, but it's not quite that easy because they never made it to where they were supposed to make it. It's almost as if they started drinking before they even got there. Maybe a roadie. You guys don't know what a roadie is? I bet some of you do. Got a cooler, you're in the truck, drink a couple beers on your way there. You know what? Let's stop at a bar. That seems like what they did. I'll take another drink. Case goes cold. Okay? No signs of them. Reminds me of one show I watched, Missing 411, I think it was, with missing hunters. I'll have to get into that sometime, but this could certainly fall into that category. Well, a few years later, rumors start circulating. And it started to get back to police when a confidential informant of theirs said, hey, I overheard these brothers who are known in this town of, I want to say Mio, Michigan, said that they, well, I'll read his quote, they were bragging. They were in a bar called O'Shea's, and the Duvall brothers were bragging about beating 2 hunters to death. He said that one of the brothers, JR, had gotten into an altercation with these 2 hunters and got beat up. And then he went home and got some reinforcements and came back. That sparked the interest, obviously, of law enforcement, and like any good law enforcement agency, they're going to follow that up. But the problem is, this is like 150 miles from the family cabin. So, initially, would you take stock in that? Would you, if you look at the address or whatever and say, oh, these, maybe. But when you get that information, the first thing you're going to do is you got 2 names now. At least the last name, you have Duvall brothers. Okay, it's pretty simple. Go to Michigan, you look at Duvall's, and you see what's going on with their background. Ooh, he's been arrested for assault. Ooh, disorderly conduct, drunk, in public, things like that. Starts tying things together. Okay, tie that to your victimology. Okay, well, my guys, my victims like to frequent bars. They drink. They're not from the area. These guys are from the area. They've been arrested for assault. They like to drink. Let's look into this a little further. And that's exactly what police did. But nothing comes about it. More years pass. 9 years pass. But it doesn't mean that the police are laying dormant. It's the age-old adage. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Denzel said it in Training Day. And it's very true. A lot of cold cases, and I'm saying half of them, and I don't know the exact number, the exact statistics, but I'm going to say half of them, the police know who did it. They just can't prove it, okay, beyond a reasonable doubt. Remember, that's very important. It's going to be important in this case as well. So eventually, this individual, this investigator named, I want to say his nickname's Bronco, from Michigan State Police. He gets the case and he starts doing what every good investigator does. Get off your ass and go knock on doors. Harry Bosch. If no one's ever watched Bosch on Amazon Prime, I recommend you watch it. He's the epitome of a good investigator. You got to get up out of your cubicle and go knock on doors. And that's what happened. And he got, and I've been in his situation. He knocked on a door and got a physical response. Now, what is a physical response? When you ask a question and you start seeing shaking, you start seeing the carotid artery and the neck start pumping. Those are things to cue in on. That means a lot of times they know something. And that happened. He knocked on the door of a female named Barb Boudreaux. She started saying, initially she didn't know anything, but he knew. The investigator knew, and he kept after her. And it finally took a long time, but she finally cracked.